Hey, welcome back to another guide of mine. It's your boy Rakuza. This time I'm going to show you how to set up a dedicated server for Rust using SteamCMD for free 99. Alright, these are the hardware specs I fully recommend, and one of them is going to be at least an i5 CPU or equivalent to it, a Windows 10 11 operating system, at least 16 gigabytes of RAM, and you'll also need to allow the following ports through firewall and port forwarding with the current router. I would advise just googling your router model and how to port forward with it, but I will be providing a port forwarding demo in my video. Just review the timeline below if you want an idea of how to port forward with your router. These are the UDP ports you'll need to port forward, and they are going to be 28015 and 28016. First off, download SteamCMD if you haven't already on the machine you'll be hosting server. So simply just open up a browser and just type in SteamCMD downloads and make sure it's on this one. Go to SteamCMD, Web Developer Community, click on Windows, click on the links to download the files. So while you are still downloading SteamCMD, let's just go ahead to your C drive and we'll just make a new folder called SteamCMD. Alright. Okay, once you have SteamCMD downloaded, it should be in the downloads folder. Just go ahead and right click, hit extract all. You can browse, and we'll go to this PC, C drive, and we're going to look for that new folder you just created called SteamCMD. Let's go ahead and select the folder and just hit extract. And once it's in this folder, it should just only have this SteamCMD.exe file. And once you double click on it, it will go ahead and populate all these other files that you need here, and that's it. Alright, and while we have this SteamCMD open, we are going to do these following commands. We're going to do login anonymous, if I could spell right. Alright, and then we're going to do force underscore install underscore dirc colon / rust server. And what we're pretty much doing is telling SteamCMD to download all the Rust file servers into that folder we just called RustServer into our C drive. Okay, and then we're gonna do app underscore update 258550 and then validate. Alright, and just hit enter, and it should download and validate all the server files for you. And once you've done that, you can close out of Steam. Alright, and we'll go navigate to our C drive into the RustServer folder. So let's go to File Explorer, go to C drive, let's look for RustServer right there. If we double click into it, you should see all these files. Disregard the Oxide, we will get into that later. Okay, just gonna give you guys a forewarning. I did do a password protected Rust server because Rust servers officially do not support server prompt passwords when you try to join the servers. So that is exactly why I wanted to do it. And if you are interested in that, please stay tuned or look into the timeline and look for the plugins. Okay, but anyways, let's go ahead and make a batch file. So we'll just right click somewhere else. Before we do this, let's go to view, make sure your file name extensions is checkmarked. Okay, that's very important. And we're just gonna do new and then text document, and what you can call this start rust, and then replace the txt with bat. All right, and you should have this batch file now. And if we right click and edit into it, you should have nothing, right? But well, you should have nothing. And I'm gonna be providing you guys the script to put in here, so you can copy and paste this all. The only thing you guys need to really edit here is going to be the server name or the server host name. All right, the server description, and you can rename the server identity. Really, this is just the file name of where your risk server files are. So if we went to server in here, that's where it would reside in. Okay, so that's pretty much it for the server identity part. And once you changed everything that you wanted to change on those particular settings, then you can do file save. We'll just close it out, and we'll just simply relaunch the batch file. We'll launch the batch file now. Just double click into it, and it could probably take at least 5 to 15 minutes. It did take a very long time for mine to boot up, so in the meantime, go grab some snacks or drink, and we'll just be waiting on this. Okay, and if for some reason your terminal screen is hung up or something, you can just simply click into it and just enter, and it should give you some feedbacks. Also forgot to mention, once you first do launch the batch file, you probably will get a Windows firewall prompt asking you whether you want to allow this on your network. Just hit allow access if that's the case. Okay, so that took a little while, but you should be getting like a server startup complete or Steam server connected message right here saying your server's up and running pretty much, and that was when it's time to launch the game and try to join it or try to find it. Okay, so let's get to it. Alright, so since we're at the menu, just go to play, and you just simply search for the server host name within the community tab. Make sure you do play with the filters though. I did have to do show empty and then type in my server name. But for some reason, I don't know if it's a bug or not, I did find it the first time, but once I joined it, it never showed up back into the community, but it did show up into my history instead. So if you do have that same issue as me, then I don't know. I mean, you could just join it from the history or favorite it, but this is how I join mine right now. And then you just connect to the server. Holy cow, they have a naval update? We're just in time, boys. We're just in time. This is a good time to make your own Rust server so you can do the naval update battles, okay? Okay, well, I got killed by a boar, so we're just gonna respawn real quick. And yeah, okay. Alright, so you might notice that I cannot move, and that is because I have that password plugin that's working right now. And if we do enter, and then we do the slash password, and then the password that we have it set to as server password accepted. Welcome, we can now move. Hooray! Alright. Alright, and there is another alternative way you can join to your server as well. Just do F1 and you will launch into your console per se. And if you're hosting the Rust server on your same gaming machine, all you have to do is just do client.connect, and then the IP address, if you're hosting on the same machine as you're playing Rust, it'll be 127.0.0.0. Is we're already connected. So let me get out of this session real quick, but I'm not hosting on my same machine, but that will work. You'll probably have to do it from the main menu screen. And if you want to connect to your local IP on your dedicated machine for testing purposes, if you don't know how to get the IP address, I'm going to show you guys here now. Okay, all right, we're at our dedicated server, and all we simply need to do is just launch our start menu and then type in CMD and then let command prompt come up, and then we're going to type in IP config and take note of the IPv4 address here, 192.168.50.15. This is my local private address. Right, and then you can go to the Rust server commands, do F1 and then do client.connect and then put in this IP address, and you should be able to connect to it just for testing purposes. And if you do want to connect through the public IP, you can do that as well if for some reason your friends cannot find your server in the community tab. So to get your public IP information, they have to go to this website, what'smyipaddress.com, and I will show you guys a video now. Okay, so to find your public IP address, all you need to do is just launch up a browser. In my case, it's going to be Microsoft Edge, And all we need to do in the browser is type in what it is, my IP address.com, and it should be this very first website here. And all you need to do is input or give out this information to your friends so they can join your server. The IPv4, it should be right here. You will need to log into your router to achieve port forwarding. If you have never done this, I would kind of show you how you can. Just launch command prompt on your dedicated server. Type in ipconfig. Take note of the IPv4 address. Take note of the default gateway IP. Open up a browser. Type in the default gateway IP address. If you don't know the login information at this point, it should be on your router with a sticker with the username and password. I highly recommend changing the default password if you haven't already, just for security reasons. If you don't know how to port forward on your modem router, you may just need to Google it for your specific model. But in my case, I am going to log into my ASUS modem. I'm gonna go to WAN, port forwarding, add a profile, and add in the ports that need to be forwarded to my dedicated servers. You got all your local IP address, you got your public IP address infos all done and ready to go. Now you want to set up a password protected server, right? Just for you and your friends, no one else, because by default Rust doesn't have a password protected server prompt for some reason, even though it's been almost 10 years they've been out. But to simply do that, we'll need to go to two websites, and before we do start, let's just close out our server, click into it and Control-C, and it might ask terminate batch job. You just hit Y as in yes. Let's just launch our browser, and we'll go to the first website, which is umod.org games/rust. okay, I will be providing all these links in the description down below so you guys have them available. And then you should be at this page, right, and just do download. All right, download that first, and once you have it downloaded into your downloads folder, extract it with whatever software you have it to wherever, and you should have this folder, oxide.rust. And if you click into it, you should see RustDedicated/_data. All right, and what we want to do is copy this over to our Rust server within our C drive, pretty much where we are hosting Rust server. All right, and you may notice that we have another Rust dedicated data folder in there, right? Well, you just want to copy and throw it in there, and if it asks you to replace it, choose replace the files in the destination. Once you've done that, you just need to simply launch the server again all the way until the actual server starts, until you get that server complete, server started. And once you've done that completely, you should have a folder called Oxide in here, right? Okay, and you should have all these other files in here. And now we need to navigate to the new website, or the second website, sorry, which is going to be, let's see, umod.org plugins/password. All right, and if you hit download, it should be in your downloads folder. Let me make more tabs here, sorry. And it should just be this password.cs, right? You want to copy, and then we want to go to our Rust server folder, go to Oxide, go to plugins, and paste it in here or move it into here. And once your server is up and running with the Oxide, you can just shut it down. Yeah. All right, and then relaunch it, because we've put in the plugin for the password.cs file in here already. And if you do want to change it, we have to go back to Oxide, go to config, and you should have a password.json. But this is probably not going to populate again until we launch it again, okay? So make sure you have that password.cs file that we downloaded in here, and then we need to relaunch the server again. I really feel like I'm going all over the place here, but if I am, just go read the descriptions. I'll be putting the steps below down there just so it's not confusing. And once you have the server started up, you should have this Oxide folder Okay, and if you do want to change the password, like I mentioned, go into the Oxide folder, go to config, and then we could right click on this and do an edit or open with, and you can do a notepad, and you can change the server password right here. So we can do just welcome 123 just to make sure that it did work, and we're going to change it in here. Okay, all right, and this will probably take another restart of the server, so close it down, open it back up, and then we're going to open it back up with the new password, and hopefully this new password works, and I'll see you guys there whenever we do have it connecting. Okay, we are at the main menu screen now. Let's go to play and let's make sure that that password worked. Okay, let's go to RT Gaming, connect to server, and let's wake up. Okay, let's see if that new password worked. Password instead of my password. Okay, there you go. Whew. We had to make sure it was the right one. Okay, it did work. I was just being stupid because I was using the default password that I use for everything for these tutorials. But anyways, oh my gosh, I'm a female. Anyways, I hope this helped and enjoy playing with your friends. Please don't forget to like and subscribe if this video helped you out. Check out my other videos on dedicated servers. I may have created one just for you already. Please don't forget to check out pinehosting.com and use my promo code RAKUZA to get your first month 30% off if you do plan to go with a third party for your hosting solutions. May you all have a great rest of your day, and cheers.